All right, time change, mother. Just kidding. We are doing it, and we're doing it a smidge bit earlier than we normally get to do it, which is awesome. And got to buy a new catalytic converter. And I went to turn my car on, and it's actually not making that crazy rattle noise right now, which is fun. I am messing with an Insta360 camera because I was messing with one over the weekend, and it's a ton of fun and it's awesome, and I'm like, dude, maybe it's gonna be better than this silly little phone. But we're gonna see how well it does, you know? Want to know why I like it so much is that it can record, again, everything that's around it, which is fun, and you could like move it all around. But then the cool thing is it'll edit it all for you. So, not that I do any editing at all with these awesome videos, but, oh, that's weird. I slept with a nose. Crazy. I slept with one of those like breathe right nose strips last night, and I'm feeling which I promise I showered. I guess I didn't scrub my nose hard enough. Super weird. I'll have to mess with it. Sorry, lady. Flipping around in front of you. Yeah. Saga continues too with the sleep world, you know? I bought, oh, it's embarrassing. Bought one of these dumb chin strap holders. And it holds your chin together. So I think I'm over CPAP life. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna figure this out. Back in the day, there were no CPAP machines, you know what I mean? My great-great-grandparents weren't using CPAP machines to fall asleep at night. I guess the argument is, cool, maybe they passed away from sleep apnea. Don't think so. But anyway, all that to say, I was reading this morning a devotional that gets sent to me by an awesome human, a few devotionals, and just reading through them, and they were talking about, the guy who wrote one of the devotionals was talking about at the end of your life, there's really only three important things that matters: your faith, your family, and your friends. And he was like, any amount of time spent away from those three categories. He was saying that he hears a lot of people that say they regret not spending enough time in one of those three categories. And it is weird, because we will all be on that deathbed one day, right? And you know you're not going to leave that bed alive. If you're in a bed, don't always get to be in a bed, you know? And I don't know, I think the takeaway is, what the heck do we do with today, knowing that we have that to look forward to? And how do we pour into those three things, you know? How do we make sure that when we're 1,000 years old, that we are like, I did the best job I can do? You know what I mean? My family knows I love them, but am I actively seeking out time with them? Am I showing up in the best of ways? My friends know I love them. Am I seeing my friends enough? Am I doing enough for my friends? My faith? Am I spending enough time? in that, I thought a lot about in myself too, like when I'm 100, I won't wish I had spent more time with me, but I'll wish the time that I do spend in this body, that I was nicer to myself. I wish that I took better care of myself mentally, right? Physically, you kind of just do the best you can do and hope that it's good enough. But yeah, really, really trying to put yourself in that. And I think that would be like a very sucky thing to have to endure. But I think it would be a good practice to say, okay, Kyle, right now, this is it. You got 30 minutes left, and then it's done. What do you think? What do you feel? What do you wish? What did you hope? What you regret? All those things. Just to kind of like get your mindset right, Anyway, yeah. I was talking with a kid at school whose dad passed away when he was 2 as well. And it was kind of cool to talk to another kid about his experience versus my experience. And hearing about his life and, how his life kind of panned out and his relationship with his stepdad and all this fun stuff. And I think the takeaway was I am thankful that I was young when I was faced with that. So young that I don't remember anything, which is again weird because I have kids who are my age and I'm like, wait, you're telling me if I was erased from this planet right now that these kids would grow up and not remember much about me? Holy cow. We were talking about how it's kind of better that it happened before your brain is super developed, because it'd be a lot easier to kind of navigate than losing a parent or family member and later on in life, Anyway, did not think on a Monday morning that we were going to have a talk so deep, but here we are, We can be done. I said Sunday fun day yesterday to Griffin, and Griffin said, Dad, no, it's Monday fun day. And I'm like, yes. There's a few things. I want to make the rainbow fantastic, because I think the rainbow is one of the coolest flipping things. And it's kind of got a different meaning now. I want to make Mondays fantastic, because so many people are wasting a seventh of their life complaining about Monday and getting started and all this stuff. And I'm like, hey, guess what, dude? You're doing it wrong. Don't do that. So I'm like, the challenge today, Monday, what can I do to make Monday the most fun day ever? Fun day, Monday. Well, we will find out. Gotta work, a lot of people are like, oh, if we're gonna make it fun. Dude, I have more fun at work than I think most people have on the weekends. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not judging other people. It's not my job, But time change did happen, so if you're wondering why it's dark outside, why it looks like the sun is setting, the sun still hasn't risen over those mountains. And that is, see, with the 360 camera, we'll be able to like flip around and I could say, look at the mountains. And then maybe I could go, swoop. Am I gonna start editing these videos? Gosh, no. Can you edit the video to make it do that? Yeah, probably. Will AI flip it around when I say, hey, look at those mountains? No, probably not. But AI can edit up something quick and, anyway. I am continuously learning. And I was watching a YouTube, like a 23-minute YouTube video yesterday about how to use that 360 camera better, how to edit it, how to take shots, how to, and I want to learn about it. That's the best part. I'm not forced to learn about it. I'm like, I want to know how to do that. I want to know how to record my world in the best way possible. I want to figure out how to translate that into family videos. There's a lot that I don't care about, and I don't ever care to learn about. And then there's this, and I'm like, hey, I want to know how to do this. This sounds fantastic, Anyway. Learn something, do something fun. The adhesive, I think, is off my nose. I got a sleep score of 86 last night, which, just because you're on my watch, Apple, doesn't mean that, you really know. It's less than 7 hours. I think it said like 6:50. I think I woke up 8 times. Which I don't know how often the average person wakes up. But what I do know is I spent most of my life falling asleep and then waking up and being like, oh my gosh, it's already morning time. Like my kids do, right? I'm not saying my kids don't wake up, but it's like, kid falls asleep. Next time he opens his eyes, it's morning time and you slept through the night and you don't have to be like, hey, how many times did I wake up? Did I have any apnea events? Any of that junk. So, yeah, anyway. There's a little supplement I want to try. I think I'm going to go mouth tape. That nasal strip and then the jaw closer upper. I think that's gonna dial in some pretty cool things. But who knows, This whole world is a science experiment, Anyway, that's all I got. I think today's 120. Pretty cool. Pretty cool because it's a fun number, Anyway. Have a fun Monday, everybody. And I'm going to figure out this 360 cam. Check this out. Boom. Boom. We'll see what happens with it. I was just kind of like leaning on my dash up against the windshield. We'll see if it even records. I need to look into whether or not I can get a mic on it. Anyway. Side notes. All right. Sheep are out. Later.